Hey everyone, this video is going to be about my experience at Contact in the Desert. I'm going to go over how it was for me personally, and then I know mainly most of it is going to be about the lecture I went to and workshop I specifically went to, which was Laura Eisenhower. And I know that's going to take up a lot of information because that was a lot. And I wanted to share what I learned from her. Removing my oil diffuser because it's just causing a haze over my screen. And side note, making videos most of the time is hard for me because it's a lot for me to do, and it's a lot of doubt that goes through my mind, and it's just a lot to just overcome and do it. So that's a side note on making this video. But getting to Contact in the Desert was a story of its own. At first, I had a plan to go with someone, and it didn't work out, but everything happens for a reason, and it's crazy how last minute everything was. I got bailed on and really was not going to be able to go, but it all just worked out in synchronistic events, and I was able to go with one of my best friends, and it was all meant to be, my other Starseed friend. So it was just, that was just already crazy. And like, we didn't even have a ticket for my friend that went with me, and we're just going there driving. I'm the only one with the ticket, but it worked out that we bought one there. So it all just worked out really perfectly. Like, my friend had to drive to like do this own mission just to even take me there. Like literally I was like saved to go there. Like, it was a miracle. My friend had to drive from San Diego to get me, and then we drove to Joshua Tree, and like his car was having problems, but it all just worked out. And we were meant to go there, definitely. So Contact in the Desert, I should have said this before starting this video. It's a huge UFO conference. People from all over the world go there. When I was looking for a ride, at first I was just looking frantically for a ride on ride shares and whatnot websites, and on the Contact in the Desert website, like, people come over from like Peru, and people come over from all over the world, and I read somewhere that over 3,000 people attended this year. So there's a lot of people from all over the world gathering. So it's very, very significant and a very honorable experience to be a part of, event to be a part of. And it was a really opening and reassuring and connecting experience. Like, being there as a starseed, and anyone who feels drawn to be there has some sort of connection with a higher realm, with the higher realms, in some way or the other. And being there together is very reassuring. It feels just so good. Even in just the area there at Joshua Tree, it's like so beautiful there. It's a highly active place, and just the people, everyone there, just it feels so peaceful there, and everyone just is so loving and opening, and it's on a higher level. Like, I can't even explain it. It's not like, going to like a music festival or another fun event. it's kind of different. It's connecting us on a level that we can't even explain. But at the same time, we all go there just to talk about all of this stuff, to hear about all the theories, to discuss all of the things that we have experienced and that we think about within this whole scheme of ascension. And yeah, so it was just a really great experience. Going there, I got to meet another starseed. So my friend is a starseed, so both of us starseeds, we got to meet another starseed, Krista, Raisa, and she's a channeler on YouTube. She's helped me through my journey, revealing myself as a starseed. So that was really great to see her. Like, we instantly connected. We're both Leo starseeds. We just instantly connected. It was so great. She gave me an oracle reading after, went to her tent, and we're just instantly connected, and that was just a great experience. And we even watched one of the panels together. So that was just really nice too. And just all the speakers, they're all humble. Like, everyone, the speakers and everyone participating in the event, whether it's the speakers and just the people there, everyone's so humble. Like, everyone just so humble and so nice. Like, you can talk to any of the speakers. Like, they're not above you, below you. Everyone's just connected and humble, because we all just want to help each other. So that was great. Like, yeah, and meeting Laura Eisenhower, that was great. Got pictures with her, got pictures with everyone, and her workshop was amazing. Her intensive was amazing. Everything was great. I'm going to talk about her intensive after in her workshop. Let's see. I feel like a theme of contact, one of the themes that was talked about a lot, or one of the topics that was talked about or brought up a lot that I noticed, was the talk of disclosure and full disclosure event. And that was brought up a lot in disclosure. I like what, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. Giorgio. That guy. This guy. Well, I liked what he was saying. He was saying, like, disclosure, it's not gonna happen in one instant or one event. It's like an ongoing process. I mean, I think the disclosure that people are expecting when they talk about full disclosure is when this galactic interaction and intervention is going to happen, and that probably won't happen for who knows, like, when is that going to actually happen. But self-disclosure happens all the time, and it's a process. Because we went to Giant Rock, that was a great experience. One of the things we did, like, really super healing experience. It's funny how it worked out, because the person, or the original host for the Giant Rock that we went to, they didn't make it, so instead it was a Native American couple and family, actually, and that turned out so much better. Like, we had this healing ceremony, drum circle, and we all were just so open, like, so much releasing happened. So that was just so great, seeing the rock, and this rock is very, like, has a lot of history to it. I don't think I want to go into it a bunch, but basically it cracked. It was going to either split down the middle, like, as when the timeline split happened, 2012, it was either going to split down the middle, like, no hope for humanity, or it was going to crack, and that means, ascension, and that's the prophecy. So it's cracked, which is good, and I got to see it. And this thing is, like, so huge. I think it's the largest boulder in the world, I'm pretty sure. But that was an amazing experience. And contact, just such a great experience. The panels were amazing. David Wilcock, me, and my friend, we really enjoyed his panel and his lectures and speeches. Gosh, it was so great. All the panels, there's just like a lot of information, and I just had a great time as a starseed. But anyone who's awakened to this should go to contact, because it's worth it. It's an experience that is so worth it and I'm going to try, my friend and I are going to try every year to make it back, because I think just going there every year is good for people and will help us with this ascension journey too, to always just feel connected to. So I hope to go there every year if possible. We got to use the goggles, like night vision goggles, and we got to look out at the lines, look out for UFO, watch out. And when I used the goggles, we only got to use them for a little bit. I wasn't expecting that. Like, it was cool though, because you got to see every little star, and that was a lot of people had a lot of sightings and saw UFOs. I didn't see one when I was using the goggles, but later on that night at our campsite, I was just looking out, and I swear, just the stars dancing around, moving around. And yeah, I was looking at a UFO, and I watched it for like over an hour longer, and it was just really interesting. It just kept moving around. I described it as a dancing star. And then I remembered, I feel like I've seen this before, I've seen a dancing star before. So I don't know. That was really cool. I had to wake up my friend for it, wake up, look at this. And my friend and I, we went there, just him and I, and we ended up meeting people, and especially after that giant rock, that event, we met more people, and that really opened us up more, I think. That was really connecting. Oh yeah, that reminds me, we're like, let's make a Facebook group after this giant rock. Oh my god, I'm gonna look it up right now, you guys. What was it? Giant rock 2017 something. Well, whatever, I'll find it another time. But we'd make a group, a Facebook group, to stay connected. Always connected by heart. Everyone's connected by heart. So I'm just gonna jump right into what I learned from Laura Eisenhower's workshop and intensive. Mainly her presentation was, and it's actually really interesting how it connects so much synchronicity. Her presentation of her information is based, not all of it, it's in connection to her personal experience, but most of it, she says it's from this website, Ascension Glossary. And I have that bookmarked. I've had that bookmarked for I don't know how long. And it's a great website. It looks exactly like Wikipedia, but it's an Ascension Glossary website. And it's such an amazing source of information. And it's from, I'll put the link in the description box. And this information is from Lisa Renee. I'm pretty sure she puts this information out here. So Lisa is connected to the guardians, and the interdimensional beings are hosting the ascension at this time. Krystal Star and Aurora Guardians. So she's an ascension guide and planet grid worker, starseed advocate, humanitarian. This is what I'm just reading off the website. writer, an educator for disclosure in world humanism. And she works with the Crystal Star, and there's just like so much information on this website. So that was interesting how I just like already had that. So all this information, you know, like if you need to look it up more, go to AscensionGlossary.com, because this is gonna be a lot of information. Like I'm gonna try to explain as I go, but this at the same time, this is available if you need to further look it up yourself if I don't explain well enough. Because I'm gonna just go through my notes that I wrote during her slideshow. So the way Laura Eisenhower described disclosure is exposing and holding people accountable for what they put out there. And it makes sense. Disclosure is just revealing of what the truth is. And for the truth to be out there, a lot of people have to be accountable for what they put out there and face their karma. Also, I'm going to put specific links from the Ascension Glossary that are related to what I'm talking about, because there's so much on that website, but I'm going to put specific links, like, of everything I'm going to talk about right now. So, I mean, humans are special, and they've been fought over for so long by different races, and there's always been galactic wars, and we've just been always caught up in the middle of it. And Ascension cycle is here to break free from all that manipulation. I mean, I'm just looking at this. One of the pages that I'll link you to, Ages of Humanity. And I mean, so much has been gone down, and it's literally, it creates a very nice timeline from the Anunnaki conquest, then the destroying of advanced civilizations, the Ice Age, Atlantean conspiracy, to the negative alien agenda, invasion of Sumerian, rewriting history, aliens as the gods. I'm just going, like, I think this is going to be a good start to me talking about everything, going through this timeline for my brain too, to wrap around it again, going through this information, telling you it's so much even for me. So going through it, the Draco influence, to the rise, and then, so that was 1700 BC. Then going to Zero, Indo consciousness incarnations, Christ, and Mary Sophia, and then negative alien agenda, retaliating, I guess that'd be called what is referred to as the Lucifer Rebellion, you spreading anti-peace, world religions, false gods, satanic rituals, to Holocaust, religious violence, and then to the secret societies, occult mystery schools, monarch lines hijacked for genetic control, to biological warfare, military complex, Majestic 12, this is when military corporations, ET government contact, this is when that happened, 1920s. This timeline is just great. This is going to help me talk about everything. To new stellar frequency spectrums introduced to the planet, and this is when first wave of ascension happens starting 1987 to 2000. This is the beginning of it. And of course, more mind control, vaccines, chemtrails, to second wave ascension cycle during 2000 to 2012. Remember Mayans' end of time, and ascension to a new timeline split after that. 2012, not the end of time, beginning of a new time. Galactic frequency in the core alignment in 2012. That's when Laura Eisenhower was talking about during that time, 2007 to 2013, is exactly when Sophia came into the core of the Earth. And that's 2013 is when it switched, the ascension cycle, ascension has switched. Open access into multiverses, indigo awakening, Stargate conflicts during the second wave. Third wave ascension cycle is where we're at now. 2012 to 2037, like beyond. And this omniversal communication access, interplanetary ET communications, galactic zodiac, crystal star hosting begins. 2037 and beyond, new procession and new age of humanity, re-education of human values, global cosmic citizen society, technological advancement, ending disease and war, rehabilitation, eviction of vandals, yes, kick them out. And then beyond that, they don't know beyond that. But I love that little timeline review before I start talking actually about what she was saying. So Ascension, at first, for the longest time, was the genetic hosting race for its ascension cycle. At first was by Melchizedek for like 35,000 years, and then, but eventually, when the Luciferian rebellion happened, the Melchizedek lines became infiltrated by Luciferian forces, and pretty much they hijacked the Ascension. They hijacked everything from the ley lines to sacred sites to the grids. Like, they hijacked everything on every level, rewrote the history during this rebellion. So this made Melchizedek patriarchal and developed misogynist towards the Sophia body, because there's Sophia. It's like Jesus and Magdalene, or I don't know how I'm saying the name, but mother and father, it's like those energies. So it was an imbalance and cut off from mother principle, leading to many bad things happening. Yeah, so this pretty much, it's an imbalance, and it leads to a lot of control acting out of an imbalance, and what Ascension is a balance of these energies. But yeah, it was hijacked during this Luciferian rebellion, and I'm just reading off my notes. And pretty much, everyone has free will, do what they want in the universe, and this negative alien agenda and AA, they cut themselves off from source and don't want to have to, rebel against the universal laws and do whatever they want with no consequence. So they cut themselves off from source, and once an entity cuts them off from source energy, they need another way to survive and keep alive and sustain themselves, and they sustain themselves. So they're pretty much like what she called them was energy vampires, and they feed off other energy sources, such as the humans always fighting over us, and by use of technology and other things to keep them alive. So it's pretty much the Lucifer rebellion, the way I see it, and how Laura was explaining it's like little kids rebelling against parents. They don't want to go home and face all the consequences and return to Creator and face what is. They don't want to do that. And trying to keep separated from Source and keep everyone else separated from Ascension journey. And they don't like it when we activate our Galactic chakra. They don't like a lot of different things, but it's happening anyways. So on this journey of free will as humans, the first fall of humanity is what Laura called it, was the ego led to the first fall. But from free will perspective, we can redeem and save ourselves within us, our own Christos-Sophia. And we came here to experience and remember our soul and return to home alchemically and ascend. And I believe when this happened, this began the Venus transit. The Venus transit she was very excited on, and it's basically divine intervention through us, because at first it was because those Venus transits reverse the Luciferian rebellion by the inversal of the satanic symbol and making it into a pentagram instead, which is not bad, and it reverses it. That's what this Venus transit is doing. It's making a pentagram in the sky, which is good for us. So when this Lucifer rebellion happened, it created a great imbalance, and it created such a great change that portals open, and it made it easy for alien wars to come and get involved into the seeding of humans. It just opened the doors for people to come in and try take us away and try to get involved pretty much and bring in all the different wars here. Oh, I loved how she said this. The Draco's negative alien race. And for alien races, I feel like we need to use discernment. Not all are good or bad within a race. I feel like, or not all are bad or good within a race. I feel like there's good and bad within all of it. But the bad ones, for the most part, the Dracos, she said they're quarantined here so they can be held accountable. They're quarantined here on Earth, which is really hilarious. It's hilarious because, yeah, we're gonna hold you accountable. You're gonna have to face the truth. That's exactly what they don't want to do. I loved it. She was like, they're biting their reptilian nails right now. I mean, we have to have humor within this. That's also what she was saying. To laugh is to really shift the frequency to a higher level and overcome problems. It makes problems not a problem anymore. And it's good to laugh about it. And one of the ways that fear is created to create more separation from unity consciousness is through false flags, and Laura Eisenhower confirmed that whenever there's a rise in consciousness, a shift in awareness that there's false flags, something bad happens in the world. And it's crazy, right when I got back from contact, there was the bombing at that one concert, the Ariana Grande concert. I don't know how to say her name. Like, that's crazy. There's already there's already something bad to happen right when I came back. And, like, it was such a great experience. So there's such a rise after that happened. This manipulation has been going on for so long that, in order to see beyond those illusions, we need to face our shadow selves and experience many dark nights of the soul and really do shadow work. And instant manifestation is more available now with ascension energies. Miracles are just happening at every corner for people. When you're tuned into this vibration, frequency, dimension, timeline, when you're tuned in and align with it and allow it, this instant manifestation is very obvious, and that's how it was for me, even getting to contact. And even now, like everything, like I finally just got a new job, and like that was like instant manifestation. Things are finally starting to manifest for me. For Ascension, we just learn to work together. Working together is oneness, and that's the only way to reach unity consciousness. So I think when Sophia came, it's when there was a war that almost killed Earth, and that's when she came and heard the cries of Earth cry out into the universe. So basically, with Ascension and this new creation, of evolving humans will undergo this slow evolution to reassemble our DNA, to clean up our mess here, to be allowed access to our cosmic families. And we're pretty much trapped in reincarnation cycle because of all the wars and control and manipulation over humans, and that's why we need to just allow ascension to take place. Natural cycles occur when stargates open, and she mentioned how the negative alien agenda, they couldn't see past 2012, so we don't need to be in fear. We're creating the future, we're creating this new world, and we don't need to be scared of them taking control, because it's all about allowing it. So when the end of times happened in 2012 with the Ascension, this really brought a lot of goddess energy because of the imbalance and rebellion that took place. So a balance of this energy, feminine goddess energy. I mean, this is a much bigger story that we're a part of. As long as we align with this goddess energy and we embody it, we can liberate ourselves and liberate others. And Laura said, going into Underworld Labyrinth and Venus transits corrects this, and it's the inversing of the manipulation. So going within and doing shadow work and balancing the imbalance is what's going to correct all of this. So as we connect with our mother energy and we ground this energy in the planet, and we activate our DNA, that shifts the field into the unity field and allows for ascension. So for ascension, a big thing she wanted to remind us is to not worry or feel pressure about it. It's about allowing what already is happening. So it's not to fear, oh, it's not going to happen, oh, this or that. It's about allowing what is, it's already written. You can't stop Creator from the divine plan. So knowing that is really just about allowing. And with the fifth dimension, which relates to the fifth chakra, which is speaking our truth. Fifth dimension ascension, having a voice is very, very powerful. We need to speak our truth. We need to reclaim our power, because it's been manipulated for so long. And we're here, we're co-creating, we're being the conduits of positive energy, higher vibrational energies. We're working with them, we're setting intentions, reclaiming our sovereignty, empowering others. And with the Ascension, she was also saying, like, we shouldn't get caught up in all of it, thinking about it and getting overwhelmed. We don't even have to understand it. We just need to allow it. We need to commit and reclaim. We all have the same purpose, just different roles. And I love, it really got me when she said this. She said, when Andromeda and the Milky Way were one. At first we were one galaxy, and with the war and when Tiamat exploded, it was separated. Just allow it, say it, reclaim it, and it's done. There's not much more to it. Oh, and another thing too was people were bringing up, because it just happened, the election, or the new President Trump, but in regards to contact, going over it, and I do believe this too, that it's a good thing that he got elected, because it might seem strange, but it's because it's a change and shift of the elite name from Hillary from Illuminati to whatever. Sure, he might be a jerk or whatever people think about him, but it's not the Illuminati lineage anymore. And that is amazing to be separated from that. So we just need to commit to ascension. Instant manifestation will take place. So just allow what already is and intend to say it. So I know that was a lot of information to say, but this is from the website and you can always just take a look at it. It's just such a great site, and this is information that's just available for everyone. Her presentation was based on it, so I hope you liked listening to my experience at Contact. It was very, very releasing and powerful activation for me. So I hope you enjoyed all this information, and thank you so much for all your support, everyone. And I'll see you guys next time.